From the very first day of this tiny home theater project, you guys have been telling me that my screen is too small. I have a 55-inch Samsung TV, and from 7 feet away, I think it does all right. But today, you finally get what you wanted. I have on loan from Epson the new QB1000 Laser projector. They sent this out to me just to borrow. I don't get to keep it, unfortunately, but I get to try it out here in my home theater. And I am going to pair it with this Silver Ticket screen right here. Silver Ticket was kind enough to send me this screen. So between the two of these, I'm going to be able to try out what it's like to have a projector in an 11-foot by 11-foot tiny home theater. The Epson QB1000 is designed for premium home theater experiences. It utilizes Epson's proprietary 4K display technology with HDR10 Plus and 3-chip LCD laser array technology, delivering a full 8.29 million pixels on screen. This ensures outstanding contrast, color accuracy, and image clarity. How does the Epson QB1000 compare to other similar projectors? The QB1000 offers a higher brightness level compared to the LS12000 and the Sony VPL XW5000ES, making it more suitable for rooms with some ambient light. Its ultra-black technology enhances contrast, providing deeper blacks and more vivid images. For gamers, the QB1000 supports 4K at 120 Hz with an input lag below 20 milliseconds, ensuring a smooth and responsive gaming experience. This is a significant advantage over the Sony VPL XW5000ES, which supports 4K at 60 Hz and has a higher input lag. The QB1000 features Epson's VRX Cinema lens with motorized focus, zoom, and lens shift, allowing for flexible installation and easy adjustments. This is comparable to the LS12000 and offers more flexibility than the Sony's lens system. In summary, the Epson QB1000 stands out with its higher brightness, advanced gaming features, and flexible installation options. While it does come at a higher price point, $79.99 MSRP, the performance and features it offers make it a compelling choice for home theater enthusiasts seeking a premium experience. So this is the screen from Silver Ticket Screens. It's an 82-inch diagonal, 16:9 aspect ratio. It's got this nice blackout velvet around the entire perimeter with a white screen and black masking on the back so you don't get any reflections back through the wall. I am really excited about this screen. So when I first got it, I was like, this might be too big. This might be just a little too crazy. But now that I've got it set up here in front of the two seats and I'm imagining it on this wall, I think this is gonna be so amazing. This is gonna be so cool. So let me just very quickly take you around this screen, a couple of the features and how it's assembled. So it actually came together quite easily. If you can put together IKEA furniture, you can absolutely put this thing together. When I first unboxed it, I'm pulling all the pieces out and I'm like, oh man, this looks kind of complicated. Like this looks like it's going to be kind of rough. It was not. Super easy. It all came together. There are a couple things just to note. So once you get it all squared up, all four sides put together, before you tighten down the corners, what you want to do is you want to measure diagonally from one corner diagonally across to the other corner, and then do the same with the other two corners, and make sure those distances are the exact same. That way you get the frame totally squared up. The other thing is, I like the tensioning system that holds the fabric tight. It has these plastic pieces that slide into the channels on the aluminum frame, and then from there, the backside just folds over. That it has a rod that goes through all four sides of the fabric, and then you just fold it over those pieces of plastic. There is another thing that I like, and that is this support rod that goes in the middle. You put that in, and then once you attach all of the I don't know what you call them, these plastic pieces that hold the fabric tight, it cinches down on this support rod, and it just gives it some added strength. I do have one minor quibble with the design of this screen, and that would be how it's mounted. What it has are 4 little aluminum pieces that have mounting holes in them. And you just slide those into the channel, and then you attach your screws onto the wall. Here's my complaint. My complaint is that it's really difficult to get things level on a wall, especially 2 screws that are 4 feet apart, right? So if one screw is even slightly down from the other one, you're gonna hang this thing and it's gonna be out of balance. What I would prefer is a mounting system that maybe has like a bracket that you mount to the wall and then allows you to fine tune it once it's on the wall. So say you attach a bracket to the wall and then you put a level on it and you're like, oh, that's slightly out of alignment. And so then you just slowly tweak it until it's perfectly level. Then you tack it down, you tighten up the screws, and then this thing just rests. It just attaches directly to that bracket. That would make for a much easier time to get this thing perfectly level. But I haven't actually mounted it yet, so we'll see how it goes when I try to get 2 screws lined up. Okay, yeah, just grab that end.
Oh, it's super light.
Yeah, it's not very heavy, but it does require 2 people. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, come this direction with it. Actually, let's do this. Okay, that one's on there. Okay, now hold up. I got it. Awesome. Thank you. I can take it from here. Awesome. So it is not heavy. However, I do strongly encourage you to use 2 people to get it up there. So now it's on. Now the question is it level? Wow, okay, I basically got it perfectly level. So yes, with the current setup for mounting it, it is possible to get it perfectly level. And I was able to do that, but I still would prefer a slightly different mounting system, but that's neither here nor there. That's fine. This actually looks really good. Okay, that is amazing. Okay, guys. This is so cool. This is incredible. Okay, so now I just need to get it lined up side to side. This is basically going to be the coolest thing. You guys were right. You said get a bigger screen. The 55-inch just wasn't cutting it. You were right. I should have listened to you from the beginning. I haven't even turned on the projector. I don't even have an image on the screen yet. And I sat in the chair and I looked at it, I'm like, no, this is gonna be so cool. All right, awesome. I'm gonna get it lined up side to side and then on to the next step of hooking up the projector. So what I've done for the projector is I have this bookcase that I have set up temporarily to hold the projector for this temporary installation, right? Now, if I were keeping this projector permanently, I would most definitely mount it to the ceiling. That would be ideal, and that is absolutely what I would do. But for now, I'm just going to have it on this bookcase. That's the setup here. So now, all I need to do is just connect up an HDMI cord and the power cord to this projector, and we're gonna be in business. Now, one of the really cool things about these new laser projectors from Epson is that unlike the old bulb projectors, which you would usually get 2, maybe 3,000 hours out of the bulb. These projectors are rated for over 20,000 hours. So basically, yeah, this thing, it's going to last longer than your setup. I would think. If you get 20,000 hours use out of a projector, well done. Now, one of the features that I really like about these Epsons, because I have the 6050 UB in my basement home theater, and it's really nice because on the back here you've got all the inputs, all the ports, the controls, everything. But once you've got everything installed, you probably don't want all that exposed. So they have a cover that covers that all up, and it's just a nice feature. I definitely make use of that in my basement theater. Got it plugged in now. All right, this thing is ready to roll. Echo, close the shades.
Okay.
Let's get this room dark, shall we? Okay, looks good so far. Now what we'll do is we will get it adjusted for the screen. So one of the other things that I just love, like Epson does so well, is just this lens shift. So I've got my projector set up. The screen obviously does not line up with where the projector is sitting, but dang, you can just tweak this thing so well. And it's super easy because on the remote, you have just a single button, lens, that cycles through focus, zoom, and shift. And then you've got your direction keys, or direction buttons that go to each of those. So what I'm going to do now is go to zoom. Let's see if I can zoom in. Okay, so this is interesting. This is what I wanted to check. What is the smallest image I can get from this distance? Okay, so from the screen to the projector is how many feet? It is approximately, to the front of the projector, it's about 102 inches. So 8 feet and 6 inches, 8.5 feet. Okay, so from 8.5 feet, you can shrink that thing down if you wanted to. I don't know why you'd want to, but if you did, you could shrink that down to a about a 41-inch diagonal screen. That's pretty impressive, okay? So what do we get from the other extreme? So 41-inch diagonal, what's the largest image we can get from 8.5 feet? Okay, I think I chose the right screen because that is about what we're gonna get, is what I've got on my silver ticket screen. And it is about 84 inches. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Yeah, 86 inches. So about 86 inches. So we're about 4 inches smaller than the max dimensions that we can get out of this projector. So let's shrink it down a little bit and then we'll move it around and we'll get this thing dialed in. I've got the projector set up, I've got the screen set up, and now we have this picture, and this projector produces an absolutely stunning image. I know that TVs objectively produce a better picture than a projector. However, this projector is incredible. So this is from the movie Baby Driver, and there is at the beginning, when he is, maybe I'll just pull it up. I've got to show you this. This is I got to make sure that I don't play the movie because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So at the beginning of the movie, when he's sitting in the car, I want to point something out that I've never noticed before because the clarity on this is just so good. Okay, so this is something that I've never noticed before, but right here you can see just the faint hint of a scar. He's got a scar right here on his face. I've never noticed that before. And I've seen this on TVs. I've watched this movie on TV. I've watched it on other projectors. I've never noticed this scar before. Now, part of it may be that I'm sitting 7 feet from the screen, and so I'm picking up on details like that. Maybe other projectors, other TVs are going to show that. That's likely. However, at this distance, this size of a screen blown up this much, you can see, like I say, it just stood out to me. That, and you can see like a little bit of stubble on his chin. Like you can see like peach fuzz. He's got peach fuzz right there on his chin. This is amazing. This is so cool to have this level of detail, this size of a screen coming from a projector. So I brought in my son, and I had him sit down, and the look on his face, he just was grinning from ear to ear. And then we watched some demo clips, and he said, "I'm never going to be able to go back to the TV again." And I think he's right. This is just too cool. Now, obviously, this works great. My setup is obviously temporary, having the projector right here. But one of the things that you run into in a tiny room is that with a projector, there's just no way around it. The projector is going to be pretty close to your head, right? Like even if you mount it to the ceiling, unless you have 10-foot ceilings, and even then, that's not going to be that far away from your head. So how loud is the projector? Well, first of all, if I'm silent, I can hear the faint hum of the fan inside the projector. But sitting down, watching a movie, I don't hear it. I don't hear it at all. This thing, I mean, it's literally 18 inches from my head. I don't hear it watching a movie. It is not a distraction. So this is, so far, very cool and very impressive. But I wanted to click through on the remote some of the image settings. So I've got it set on dynamic range. I've got it set to auto. And you have a few different options. You've got SDR, HDR10, HDR10 Plus, and HLG. So it set to auto, it was automatically picking up the HDR10 from the Apple TV. And you can see, now that I've switched it to SDR, it's a little more washed out. Like the colors just aren't as rich. So let's switch it back to HDR10, just compare this. Yeah, that is much better. So I recommend just leaving it on the auto setting so that it will just automatically pick up an HDR10 signal from your source material. And if it doesn't have that, then it'll just do the best setting. Another thing I want to mention is how good this picture looks out of the box. I have done zero calibration. I literally plugged it in, fit the image to the screen, and hit play. And this is what we get. If you love to tinker, if you love to calibrate, you have that option with this projector. But if you want to just plug it in and have it just work, this is the projector. This thing looks great right out of the box. Another thing I want to point out is the issue of ambient light. Now, I'm able to completely dark out this room because I've got a blackout shade on the window. So I close the door and the room goes totally black. However, once you turn on the projector, it is literally reflecting light off of this screen. And so it is lighting up the room. I mean, you can tell that the walls are all lit up. The room is pretty bright. Two things with that. One, if you have a dedicated space, this just further emphasizes how important it is to fully black out your room. Dark paint. Go with a dark color paint. Do wall panels, dark colors. You want it to be as immersive as possible. You want the room to just disappear. Now, obviously, in this case, I'm not painting the room. I want to point out that ideally what you do want is a blacked out room. The other issue is ambient light reflecting onto the screen and washing out the image. Now, this projector does quite well. I lowered the shade down partially, so there was still a fair amount of light coming in, and the brightness of this image was still quite impressive. So you can use this projector in a room that isn't fully blacked out. Just know that you might get some light reflection off the wall and onto the picture. And so in that case, what you might want to do is use a screen that is an ambient light rejecting screen that kind of literally just kind of rejects that ambient light, so that that's less of an issue. But I will say this projector, very forgiving. If you don't get the exact perfect screen, if you don't have the exact perfect room, this screen is still going to work very well because it is so bright. 3,300 lumens. This is a bright screen. The previous projector in this kind of similar lineup from Epson, the LS12000, it put out, I believe, 2,700 lumens. So this is 600 lumens more than the LS12000. Amazing. This thing is a light cannon. So to sum up, I am super impressed with this projector. I can't wait to watch a bunch of movies on it. Everything I've seen up to this point, very impressive. I am going to be absolutely heartbroken when I box this thing up and send it back to Epson, but I'm grateful for the time that I will have with it. And so with that, I will say thanks for watching.